Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our webinar today. We'll be walking you through the new Eloqua 10 February 2016 release and provide you with some information about what you can expect over the coming weeks as your various instances of Eloqua come online with the new interface. We'll provide you with a good view so you can have an understanding as to what to expect once you log into the new instance. So we'll also look at where you can find some information. The Topliners website is the place to go. We'll also look at some of the dates and understand exactly when you'll be able to have access to the new instance. And we'll go through and show you through a live demo what that experience is going to look like. Now, there are a number of other enhancements coming this month and also in the following months, and we'll cover those off as we progress through the slide deck. We should take no more than hopefully half an hour to do that with you today. So where to find the right information, finding release information. So there's two locations you can go to find the information you need. Topliners will always be your source of truth. You'll need to log in to Topliners, make your way to the Know It tab, and underneath the Know It banner there, you'll see some options. You'll see with the arrow here pointing to a hyperlink called Release Center. So don't go ahead and click on the actual button here. Go ahead and click on the actual Release Center hyperlink, and that will take you to all of the information you need to know about the new Eloqua 10. You'll also be able to find some information, including the dates as to when your pod goes live on the new instance from the Marketing Cube blog. So just head to marketingcube.com.au, and there you'll find a range of resources in that blog post with links to various bits and pieces as well. So let's take a look. This is the new interface. So you'll see it's much lighter and brighter. The functional aspects of what you're used to are predominantly exactly the same, which is good. There are a number of little enhancements along the way, and we'll walk you through some of those. But hopefully what you'll see here is a nicer, cleaner, simpler type of interface. There's also some really cool time-saving things as well. And so we'll walk you through each of those in just a few moments. In this particular view, you can see the campaign activity, for instance, and this is probably one of my favorite sections or one of my favorite enhancements. Again, it's not really new functionality, but what we are seeing is more information presented to you in a dashboard format, which is very cool. So with campaign activity, you'll see there's three tabs there. There's completed, active, and scheduled. And the interface looks the same as you click on each of those tabs, but you can see great information there about number of contacts. Those three icons off to the right enable you to have a look at the settings that relate specifically to that campaign. You can also look at some of the live reports in relation to opens and click-throughs, etc. And then the final button takes you directly to Insight and will give you information about that campaign from an Insight point of view. So nice consolidation of quite a bit of information directly at what we call the new My Eloqua homepage. You'll see here, looking at the email editor, that everything is kind of where you expect it to be. So we have the email groups in the top right-hand corner. Your menu options are down the left. You'll see some nice new icons. Again, lighter, brighter, cleaner, certainly a fresher look than what we've been used to in the past. But everything you would expect to be is exactly where you would expect it to be. So that's a good thing. But that's enough of slides. Let's take a look and see it in action. Okay, let's take it for a spin. Welcome to the new Eloqua. What we'll do to start with is walk you through some of these various dashboards available through My Eloqua, which will give you faster and easier access to a whole range of information that I think you'll find really, really helpful. So when you start, you've got the overview, which provides you with your contacts and total visitors. And you'll see here some interesting stats in relation to your database growth, website activity, which is always a good indicator to sort of get a feel for what's happening on your digital properties. And new visitors is obviously incredibly helpful information. So these are new people that are coming across your website, and so it would be interesting to compare that against various campaigns, for instance, over a particular period to look at the actual visitor count that's being impacted there. The next option down is the campaigns. So we talked a little bit about this a moment ago. You've got campaigns that were completed this week, and so we can take a look at those. Click on any of these options here to have a closer look. Active, those that are in play. So if you've got nurturing campaigns that might run for 12 months or so, or a longer period, then some regular campaigns, you'll be able to see them here and keep an eye on those. You'll notice also the simple email campaign icon is slightly different to your multi-step campaign canvas as well. Then you can come across here and you'll see the scheduled campaigns. So again, you'll be able to see all sorts of information. Now, in relation to visibility, keep in mind that that relates essentially to your current security levels based on your profile. So what will you see when you look at scheduled? You will see what your current security levels allow you to see based on your particular profile. The other step down here is My Approvals. So if you're using the approval functionality within Eloqua, you'll see that information right here in front of you, easy to access and to respond to as needed. So to get back, we simply click on My Eloqua and we come back to the relevant information. Okay. All right, so overview. Let's take a closer look at some of the information that you can see here. The activity that you see here, you'll notice, has various users. Again, that will be based on your security level and what you're able to see. So you'll be able to see what the team is up to based on different campaigns, their activity, and what they've been doing. Recently accessed relates to you though. So this recently accessed summary is relative to those campaigns that you've, or assets, etc., that you've recently accessed. Now, one of the cool additions that we see here on the My Eloqua page is this ability to edit some of these shortcuts. So if creating segments is not something that you do a lot, what you could do is click on the edit, and perhaps it's more about email. So you spend more of your time playing with emails. So you can have a look here. There are various things you can choose from. Let's choose Create Email. So now there we go. I've modified the shortcuts. It's now tailored for me. It is more responsive to what I'm actually doing. So that's a great feature. And again, from Create Email, we click, you go straight to Chooser, choose a relevant template, and then you're into your editor and able to make the changes that you need and get organized for, in our case, the next Eloqua user group. One of the really nice additions to the new Eloqua is the search functionality. Now previously when you were searching, you were largely limited to the email domain. So you would search for something at marketingcube.com.au or the person's name, etc. Now if the person's name didn't match their email address, for instance, that was kind of difficult. But with the new global search, anything that you have that carries a keyword that you search for, so if we look for, say, user group, which is a campaign we run fairly frequently on a monthly basis, now I can see everything. So I see emails, I see campaigns, I see images, hyperlinks, forms, etc., etc. Everything that relates to user group is now available here. So all you have to do then is actually click on one of those functions or one of those options, and bang, we've gone straight to that particular asset. A really cool feature, and certainly a time saver. I think that will be appreciated by just about everybody. Okay, so let's go back to My Eloqua. You'll see as well you've got a range of ways to access information. So across the menu bar at the top here, now this is the standard menu that you're familiar with at the moment. There is also a new menu. So we can go to Preview New Menu. We say try it. Okay, so in case you missed it, what was happening here, we had campaigns. Now we have what's called orchestration, which takes us to campaigns. It also takes us directly to Program Builder. So if you're using Program Builder, you can access it now directly from the My Eloqua page versus having to go through setup, etc. If you've got the events module as well, you can access it there, and also campaign settings. The configuration of the information is just slightly different in this menu structure, and if anything, I think it's actually a bit more intuitive, which is quite helpful. So all of your components that relate to your various assets, you can access them from here. All of your email setups, so rules, signatures, batch control, email defaults, the master exclude. Some of those things were only available through setup. Now they're available directly here from the My Eloqua homepage. So same when you go to audience, you'll see lead scoring and segments, an obvious alignment of features, which is good, tools, contact lists, accounts, etc., and then off to reporting. And you'll notice there the new Oracle BI as well as Insight, and we'll explain a little bit more about those in just a few moments. Okay, let's go and have a look at one of the launch pads. We'll choose landing pages. So whether you're looking at landing pages, campaigns, etc., segments, emails, the launch pad that you see right here is essentially the same. There's some additional information which has been brought in, which is helpful. So these useful links over here on the right hand side, they used to exist up in the help menu, but they're now available right here in front of you, which is much easier. Your favorites are over here on the left hand side, and you can still filter and access various bits and pieces through these shortcuts on the left hand side. So recently accessed, created by me, etc., etc. So whether you're looking at the landing page, the landing page launchpad or the email launchpad, you'll see the configuration. Here we are now looking at emails. It's exactly the same as well. But again, I think you'll appreciate a lighter, brighter, sort of cleaner look and feel, which is really nice. Let's have a quick look at segments, which would be under our audience. So we come down to segments. And again, you'll see very similar look, etc. We can click on create a segment. Let's start with what we call a base segment. And in here, what we do is access a whole range of different pieces. You'll notice it looks essentially exactly the same. All of the regular filter criteria that you've got available over here on the right hand side in exactly the same position, so you can still build your segments if that's what you do. Let's have a look at the campaign canvas. So off to campaigns, don't need to worry about that. Let's have a look at our user group that's coming up. This is scheduled, I think it goes live tomorrow. So again, looks pretty similar. Again, just nicer, lighter, brighter, cleaner. You might have noticed the addition of the new refresh button. That's been in place now for a couple of months, but it's quite helpful when you're making changes, especially to live campaigns. If you're deactivating them, etc., the refresh can be quite helpful. Or if you're looking at a campaign that's in motion, you can refresh it and your people will actually move down. So all these numbers that you see will begin to move down through the relevant campaign. Now, in relation to the new menu, if you choose to have a look at that and use that preview feature, if you don't want to use it and you want to go back to the regular menu, all you have to do is click on your user icon over here and choose Exit Preview, and we go back to the My Eloqua page, and now you'll notice we're back to the regular campaigns, etc. Just as a heads up, this new menu will be permanent, I think, by the end of the year, so you probably want to spend some time familiarizing yourself with it so that once we're forced to use it, that it's not foreign to you and you know what to do and what to look for. Okay, so just to recap on a couple of things there. First one, with the new menu structure, just keeping in mind that you've got two options. The option you can see at the top of the screen right now will be the generic or default option, and you will have the ability to preview the new menu, which you can see shown below there with the big new star next to it. Now, in addition to that, there are some additional resources that you'll be able to access to learn more and to get up to date with the new Eloqua 10. Certainly, Eloqua Release Center at topliners.com is a great place to go. We've covered that earlier, but you will find the video there, or a video from Oracle, in addition to some slides and also some optional navigation changes, which is that overview cheat sheet, which you'll find in the Oracle Eloqua Help Center. So various resources there to assist you with what you need. In this next part of the presentation, we just want to cover a couple of additional features, things that we can look forward to in the balance of this year and in some cases in the next few months, hopefully. One of the first ones is an update to the program builder, which is now called the program canvas. You'll see the first thing, if you're familiar with program builder, that there's obviously a look and feel that resembles the campaign canvas. So a much more drag and drop type scenario. So for those that aren't familiar, the campaign builder really is the workflow workhorse within Eloqua. It's what drives leads off to the CRM. It really drives that connection to a CRM if there's one connected. But not just the CRM, it can be multiple external data systems and data sources where you can both send information to and bring it into Eloqua to help with your personalization and also segmentation. So it's quite a powerful tool, but it's certainly been upgraded, and at the moment it's available under controlled availability, or CA as Oracle like to call it. So what that means is you simply need to log a service request with Oracle, and generally speaking they will provide you with access. You just need to realize that changes and enhancements under controlled availability, it can be subject to change. So, but the good thing is Program Builder and Program Canvas will remain available side by side over the next 12 months, I believe it is. So you'll have a good amount of time to understand the Program Canvas and understand exactly what's available. One significant change to the Program Canvas is the addition of apps. So just as we can add apps to the campaign canvas, those who are spending their time working on programs will be able to do much the same thing, which will certainly extend the functionality and the ease of use of that particular platform, which is good news. Let's talk Profiler. Eloqua Profiler is a sales tool, and its primary purpose is to provide consolidated information about the digital body language of a single contact to generally the sales team. Now, of course, anybody using Eloqua can access it, but one of the magic parts for Profiler is its ability to be able to be installed within the CRM, usually at the contact level, or generally always at the contact level. Recent changes have come about with Profiler to upgrade that experience, one of which is the ability, as you can see right here, and that's not actually a mock-up that you're looking at, that is a real photograph of what the screen actually looks like. So it's fully responsive regardless of which device you're on. It's not something that you actually download from the App Store onto your phone. It's simply a URL that you would access. You will need to log in, and it will simply render to your respective device, so whether it be iPad, iPhone, Samsung, whatever the case may be, or even just desktop, outside of the CRM. As long as you've got credentials, you can log in and you can access that information. So a tremendous tool with some really nice enhancements. The old interface and app that was created for Profiler expires on the 30th of June 2016. So if you are using Profiler, you need to go through the process to update that. It's literally a 5-minute process. It's not rocket science. If you need a hand, simply give us a call. I hope you'll agree that many of the things we've looked at today from an Eloqua point of view, considering most of us use it all day, every day, are pretty exciting. If one thing is maybe a little more exciting than the others, yes, the interface is great, but changes to Insight. One of the big changes to Insight is coming very soon, and that change will commence initially with dashboards. So the look and feel of the dashboards that you can see right here on screen are now night and day, considerably different to what you'll experience today within Insight. The enhancements have come largely through a product called Oracle BI. So the actual platform that Insight sits on today is a platform that's, what I understand, not owned by Oracle, and just part of the legacy acquisition of Eloqua some years ago. So there's always been an agenda to upgrade and make that change. Late last year, I attended a session with one of the Oracle team looking at their BI tool and saw a demo in relation to the ease and flexibility of that product, and it is tremendous. We're talking drag and drop values to produce graphs, pie charts, bar graphs, whatever it is, different types of formats, whatever works for you, with a much greater degree of control. The other upside coming apparently in relation to the new insight in these dashboards is that the fact that the data will be real time. So we won't be referencing, as is Insight today, more of a data warehouse where the data can be up to 24 hours old. Isn't always, but can be, versus the new dashboards will be live, which will be tremendous. So not much more to tell you at this stage, other than that this will be the first phase, moving dashboards to the new Oracle BI. This will all be accessed directly within Eloqua, just as you access Insight today, and available to all Eloqua customers. So these won't be additional licenses, etc. This will just simply be the new Insight, so to speak. So as soon as we know more, we'll get some more information for you. Okay, we're just about done here, folks. So just to recap for you on finding additional information to help you understand what's happening with the new Eloqua 10. First one is top liners, as you can see here on the left of the screen, and specifically clicking on the Know It tab. And then once you're at the Know It tab, clicking on the Release Center hyperlink under B2B cross-channel marketing. That will take you to a whole range of information. In addition to that, you can go to the Marketing Cube blog at marketingcube.com.au. There you'll find the video consolidated into one place, along with the schedule for rollouts beginning early in February. And there you'll find some additional pieces of information, along with some links to other resources at Topliners as well. So either of those will be helpful for you. Well, that's it, folks. We've walked you through Eloqua, shown you a few of the new things you can expect coming up at the end of this year, or before the end of this year. But let's recap in summary on some of those key points. Certainly the My Eloqua information, the new homepage effectively for the Eloqua user, gives you access to a lot more information, and also some flexibility to personalize that experience around exactly what you need. Don't forget global search. I think that will be easy to sort of forget because it's just that one little question mark or little hourglass in the top right hand corner of the screen. So take a moment to recall that one, and I think you'll find that quite helpful when you're starting to look for the various bits and pieces. Also, new insight coming soon. We looked a little bit at some of those dashboards to give you an example, along with the new program Canvas, which is available through controlled availability. So if you've got folks within your team who are using Program Builder today, you certainly want to have a look and have a chat with them about Program Canvas and getting a plan in place to move to the new Canvas. And accessing it through controlled availability is a great place to start. And then, of course, we looked at the new profiler and understanding what needs to happen there. Thanks so much for joining us today. If you do have any questions, please contact us directly at our office in Sydney on 02 8244 0007 or via our website or email. We look forward to hearing from you. Take care.